Hello, Scorpio. This is Gypsy Spirit here with you to give you your Goddess Power Oracle card reading for the week of September 5th through September 11th. And I like to read from the book because I don't always know exactly what all the goddesses represent or what they're about. So I have beautiful oracle cards with beautiful messages. And after I read from you what it says for each of the goddess, then I will tell you a story that relates to this goddess. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started, Scorpio. I've already drawn your goddess. It is Sophia, and she is of divine wisdom. Look at how beautiful Sophia is. And she's all about divine wisdom. So let's go ahead and read the empowerment messages. It says, human wisdom comes from personal experience, but divine wisdom is unknown to our life experience. When we ask for help, we are asking for guidance from a source greater than us, a great unknowable mystery. When we receive it, it is often life-altering and affects us in ways beyond our comprehension. The Gnostic goddess Sophia, who brought the material world into being, arrives to show you how fate and destiny operate in relationship to synchronicity. When you least expect it, opportunities and meetings spring up as if it were out of nowhere. Your life begins to work out and you sense your alignment with a higher purpose and power. Trust you are divinely protected and directed. Practice the act of faith before results. This is an essential lay in co-creating your world. So you never know who you're going to run into, right? People just come into our lives. We have no idea why we're meeting these people. When you are disconnected from your higher power, you begin to believe that you are alone or the source of abundance in life. It is wise to commit to a conscious and deliberate daily connection to a higher power. When you forget to do this, you may place too much attention on materialism, work, money, goals, and the likes. The goddess Sophia reminds you that it's the spiritual aspect and the invisible aspect, the essence of your desires, that means more than the form. You may be mistaking something false for divine guidance right now. It's time to come back into alignment and receive true divine guidance, divested from wishing and thinking or ego attachments. Opening to the wisdom of the mystery of the universe is your alignment task now. Let the goddess Sophia guide you to your magic. The most meaningful and beautiful expression of yourself is waiting for you. So, I have a story to go with this. It's a very interesting story. Back in 2011, just when I was stepping into my empowerment, my enlightenment, I had a roommate. And it was this woman who had invited me to come live in her house. And she was all about doing charity work. And she had this very creative idea that she had come up with on her own of doing charity and helping people. And I can't remember what it was. But she and I had kind of started a little magazine together, a little publication. And there was this coffee shop that I was trying to get the owners to do an advertisement with us. And so it was on a Saturday evening. I was in this coffee shop and I met this gentleman. I know what it was. I was sitting at the bar and I was listening to him talk to somebody, and he was talking about this idea that he had doing charity work. And I swear to God, it was the same idea that my roommate had. And I'm listening to him as I'm waiting to talk to one of the owners about advertising. And I'm listening to this guy talking to somebody else, and I'm thinking, where did he get this idea? Because this is the exact idea that my friend had. What the hell is this all? Did he steal this idea? Do they know each other? I mean, where did this come from? So when he finished talking to that person, I started talking to him. And I asked him, where did you get this idea? And we just really hit it off. And I told him about my roommate. And we started talking, and I told him I showed him my magazine, the the publication that I had started, and we talked about that. And he wanted to meet my roommate, and I mean, it was just incredible. And his name is Boyd, and he was very, very handsome man, but I want to say he was probably about maybe 26, 27 at the time. And so he had a friend who was a business partner of his as well. And so we just got to be friends, you know, and it's like I think he kind of did some work to try to sponsor our magazine that we were doing, and we just became friends. We kind of worked hand in hand together. They both had kind of the same idea, my roommate and Boyd, and so anyway, my friend, my roommate, she kind of stopped working on this thing that she, you know, this charity thing or whatever, because she took on a full-time job. And Boyd somehow ran into somebody that talked to him about having a live stream radio through the internet. And this is like in 2011. That's right when the time the live streaming was like starting to just be born, really born. And so Boyd and his friend Brad, they started a studio. They created, they rented a place, and they had all this equipment and everything to run a studio with podcasting. That's really what it was. It was podcasting, continuously live streaming, 24/7. And but it was right in the very, very birthing of podcasting. And so Boyd called me one day, and he told me that they were doing this live radio show, that they were going to be having different guests and different shows, and he wanted to know if I wanted to do a show, you know, to have a show of my own. And I was like, well, yeah. We had shifted the magazine a little bit to be more on a spiritual level, and my roommate really didn't have time to do anything, you know, so I was pretty much left on my own. So I was she and I kind of just dissolved what we had been doing as well. And I began taking things in a whole different path, more on a spiritual path. I had already had my enlightenment. I was reading tarot cards, and I was really wanting to introduce the world to other metaphysics, other people that were healers, light workers, or whatever, especially local people, where we could get help, people that are searching. So this opportunity came to me to have my own podcast, if you will. I mean, that's what it was. And I brought on, it was every week, 3 times a week, and I brought in guests every day, the first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And it was very successful here in Charleston. And so, you know, I that was all from a result of meeting this guy Boyd, who was at the bar at this coffee shop, talking to somebody that had the same kind of vision that my roommate had. It was really weird. It was so weird, and it just all worked out. So, you know, you never know who you're going to run into, what universe is going to bring to you. You know, all these people, I work with a lot of women who, they're so afraid to break up or get out of a relationship they know they need to get out of, but they're so afraid to, because, you know, what happens if they're left all alone? Well, guess what? What happens if you like meet somebody just out of the clear blue that you're supposed to be with, or that, you know, that the universe is like bringing to you to help you grow on your spiritual path. So you just have to trust and have faith. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that story. When I read these goddess powers, I read before I go on video. And I asked the universe, please give me a story to share. And I totally forgot about that story until I read this. And that was a story that I felt like I was supposed to share with some of you. And so I hope it helps. And I look forward to talking to you next week. But please be in love and light this week, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.